pledge my heart to the rainbow of the not-so-typical gay camp. One camp full of pride, indivisible, with affirmation and equal rights for all. Watch your heads.
So, what you just heard, if you were listening coast to coast on an affiliate near you, if you're streaming, if you're listening later to the archived podcast, or if you're watching the simulcast live, either on Channel 347 Direct TV, YouTube, where the discussion happens, or Facebook, that was Mayor Secretary, Vice Admiral of the canoe fleet at Camp Wimpy-Tonka, Buttigieg. And that was Mr. Buttigieg Chasten, who is basically he's mocking the Pledge of Allegiance. It was recorded at a 2019 Iowa Safe Schools annual governor's conference on alphabet youth. And I have no idea why they feel the need to do this. And this dude's a middle school teacher. It was the Iowa Safe Schools thing. It was their virtual graduation ceremony. And first off, can I just point out the ludicrousness, the lunacy of having, you don't have to have a flag for everything, right? This is a flag for how you like to have sex, okay? And with whom? I get it that everybody wants to turn themselves into a brand, which is infuriatingly, insufferably annoying nowadays. But you don't need a flag or a marker or, are you that starved for attention? Because people who need attention do this stuff. It's like, I need a flag because I like brownies without nuts, and I need a flag for that. Or I like ankle socks over Chris socks. I need a flag for that. It's my life. It's my truth. It's a flag for how people have to sexes, okay? Why do you need that? It's like saying, "Oh, I'm a dude and I prefer to sit to pee. Where's my flag?" I don't get why you have to have some sort of announcement for every aspect of your life. You're cordoning yourself off by insisting upon having some kind of flag with some kind of... It's goofy. Just be a human. Be a part of the human race, right? And then to have these kids do this? Look, Buttigieg was a DEI hire. He got selected. This Bob the Builder guy got selected because he's gay. That's why he got picked for this role. It's not because Secretary Buttigieg has some sort of immense qualifications in transportation. It's not because Secretary Buttigieg has a lifelong affinity for vehicles. They act like he's like the American Jeremy Clarkson or something. He got picked because he has sex with dudes. That's why he was selected. For no other reason. He ran against Joe. Joe wanted to make his administration look young. Then he could also check the box of, well, here's a guy who's alphabet, and he installs him in this position. And Buttigieg immediately puts out his identity politic of how he has sex before any other qualification, like merit or skill or anything else. See, that's it. At some point, that's what our world's going to be. We're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Your doctor will be, the surgeon operating on your guts will be the guy operating on your guts, not because he had the merit and skill to do it, but because of how he has the sex. It's going to happen. Just get used to it, right? You're going to die. So, it's true. At least Rick Grinnell, who was D&I, had like intel experience, right? Can I be real? I didn't even know that dude was gay until it came out and they tried to shame him over it because the left likes gay people until they find out you're a dirty Republican. And then all of a sudden being gay is bad. Because they patent identity politics. You can't be gay, you can't be black, you can't be Hispanic, you can't be a chick unless you're a Democrat. the Democrat aspect validates all the other identity politics. So you can't truly be any of, I mean, Joe Biden told y'all, if you're not voting for him, you ain't black. That's how they literally view it. I'm not exaggerating. That's how they look at this stuff. So he was a DEI hire. Why is he holding up this flag? What is it? I'm confused as to how this is written. Was it a conference talking about alphabet youth, or was it a gay kid camp? And then why are you sending your kids to gay camp? I am made of jokes right now. You have to realize that I came of age in the 90s. And I wish the 80s were my coming of age, because that was, I feel like, a way better time. But things were still pretty politically incorrect then, right? I mean, the Goonies was out when I was a kid. Goonies, right? Remember that? The Brat Pack was like they were a thing when I was growing up. I just feel like there could have been like a PCU sort of thing with like, which still, I found the link on that, by the way. You got to look at it online, because for some reason you can't watch it anymore. Jeremy Piven, PCU, the best movie that was really a prophecy on where everything was going. It was making fun of identity politics and all of this woke stuff before, like decades before it happened. The whole Iowa Safe Schools thing, they were mad because Kim Reynolds was like, okay, we don't want dudes changing in women's locker rooms. Now, that should not be a controversial thing. I told you how we had a cousin, and this was in Hillsboro, Missouri, right? At the school there, who was an athlete, and there was an 18-year-old male who was over 6 foot, who just decided, 1 month he wanted to be a chick, demanded access to the girls' locker room so he could change. The girls were like all having to cram into the bathroom to change because they didn't want to have to change in front of this dude, understandably. Because remember, as Caitlyn Jenner said, you can be a dude and still attracted to chicks and dress like a chick, because he still liked the ladies. That's how goofy all this is. And so he insisted on being able to change in the girls' locker room, and the female athletes had what were they going to do? So they, all of the Iowa Safe School things, all the other alphabets, all the other letters, they're thrown into the street. It's all about the T. Oh, the L's and the G's, get out. LGB, get out. It's all about the T. The T's running all the other letters off. The T's telling the L's that they can't be truly L's. And they're telling the G's they can't be truly G's. They're not saying anything to the B's, but that's, So they had mottos that said, 2468, how do you know your kid is straight? How about 2468, STFU? Doesn't rhyme, but it serves a purpose. Like, seriously, what in the world? But they had their whole curriculum. They had a queer book club. What does that even mean? Do gay people read books different? I know gay people. They don't read books differently than non-gay people. How does how you have to sex affect how you read to books? Do I not know something? Did they just put their face on the book and absorb it by osmosis? Like, how does that work?
I could do that.
Dude, right? So they had that. They had, let's see. Oh, queer current events. Okay, whatever that is. Gingerbread. This is the dumbest stuff ever. I'm just gonna say, like, if I was a super left person, and I encourage this in my kids, I would actually be offended by this list because it's patronizing and stupid. It's really dumb. So they had a whole thing about pronoun prep. This is what Chasten was involved in. That's the Secretary of Transportation, who knows nothing about transportation. That's like making me the minister of football. Can you imagine? I would immediately say all the teams with ugly colors, change them. Because your uniforms look heinous. I would immediately do that. I totally would. Some of these colors out there, I'm like, that's gross. Like, nobody wants that color. That looks like a 70s Afghan. Stop it. Like a quilt, like a crocheted quilt or crocheted Afghan. Nobody wants that. You know what I mean? The brown and gold. No, change that. You all know what I'm talking about. I heard you all go, oh, because you all have one. Your moms have one. Or you got one from your grandparents. I know.